pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Why's That. And now here, I would certainly like to highlight about a couple of things on my channel that I'm going to be doing because, after all, Nerf Secret Revealed is gone, but there are quite a lot of other things I would like to talk about, but that would once again mean that I'm going to sidetrack myself away from the point of me turning on the camera and recording myself here in this cubicle. Because I do have another question that I'm going to have to answer, and this one is in fact number 37. And yeah, I'm going to continue looking down at this thing because that way I'm able to read the questions up here, and so that way I'm able to pretty much gauge the time when I can add on the screenshot here. So basically, question number 37 basically says, down here, why is that you're never quitting YouTube? It's a little simple. Almost far-fetched, but it is very timid and somewhat agonizing to me because I don't know about you, but I'm gonna have to calm down because I'm pretty much getting some flashbacks from like the last week or so where I had answered a couple other questions that were based on my YouTube channel and why I'm simply carrying on through some of these tough times that I'm gonna have for a while now. But that's not really the point here because you know what? I might as well try and professionally explain all this stuff to the best of my ability. So, anyways, here we go. Okay. The one reason why I'm not going to be quitting YouTube is because this is the social media platform that my business Kaiju Force Neo has been best recognized on. In spite of the fact of my astounding levels of success on my first Twitter account, which occurred from like 2016 to 2019. Those were pretty much times where my first Twitter account, Kaiju Force Neo 1.0, as in the account that was created on August 12, 2006, had become so famous and worldwide recognition was pouring in all over the place. And there were actually at least two contributing factors to that. One being that, well, that Kaiju Force Neo account on Twitter had also been linked to a Vine account, which was also called Kaiju Force Neo. Although, when I first started it, I didn't really call it Kaiju Force Neo until somewhat later. And then the second contributing factor to how my first Twitter account got so successful and famous and fortunate enough to be around for a long time was because, well, I had a lot of influence from the GameTweet community, which was like a huge promotional offering that I was getting. And I was pretty excited to try it out because the first several hundred tweets that I've liked and retweeted that were GameTweet based from GameTweet accounts, they pretty much got me followers left and right. A lot of them started pouring into my accounts, and I mean, I was getting dozens of notifications back and forth. I even recall that I took a screenshot of my Twitter account when I noticed that there were 99 plus notifications. That is incredible. That is a lot of notifications on like one single occasion where I log on to my Twitter. But you know what? It's just that. That was incredible for me. A Twitter account with 30,000 followers, almost 30,000, but combined with the second account that I made in September 2018, that's a lot of people that have followed me for all the content that I could possibly offer. Kaiju Force Neo had definitely become a well-known name online. The public space was certainly a pretty good way to go. If I wanted to get instant promotion from my Twitter account or like probably other accounts online, then well, that'd be the place to go. But you know what though? That hardly has anything to do with why I'm not going to quit YouTube. But of course it does make sense, because given to the fact that my Twitter accounts, yeah, they both had a lot of followers. Even today, my second account still does have at least 1,100, 1,200 followers, which is still a crap ton than the average person could probably get. Like, a lot of my old friends from various public schools that I've gone to over the years, none of their accounts even have 1,000 followers. As far as I've known, I mean, I've checked on them for research. But you know what though? Even to this day, Kaiju Force Neo is still becoming a huge staple on Twitter. especially because of my influence with the Game Tweet community and because of how successful I was on Vine before it was discontinued in January of 2017. Of course, I've talked a lot about that moment in my life, but that's only because. How else do you think my first Twitter account could have gotten so famous and so popular in just a short amount of time? I mean, if that's not crazy enough for you, I don't even know what is. But still, 30,000 people have followed my Twitter account, and maybe millions more have gotten to know about me. Not everybody wanted to follow me, I guess, but still, that doesn't really mean that not everybody would know about you. And considering all of the good stuff I was able to get for the last 15 years, whether it be from friends, family, strangers, neighbors, co-workers, clients, everybody that I could ever possibly known about in my entire life, 21 years since my birth had taken place, they've all gotten to know at least one part of my life online. And more importantly, one fraction of what Kaiju Force Neo truly is. It's a business name itself that has actually been racking up a lot of money. I do recall having a net worth of more than $35,000. Especially with all the jobs that I've had. They've come and gone, but eventually Marcus Theaters was probably the one that became the most successful. How else do you think I could have gotten like 14 grand worth of savings? But I feel like I'm just feeling into it, and more importantly, I'm probably just bragging about it a little too often, so I mean, I'll probably just stop with that. But you know what? If there's one last thing that I might have to say about the reason why I'm not going to quit YouTube is, well, because I do need something out there to work with. I do in fact need a job because at 21 years old, not currently enrolled in college, and for the most important part, I am still living with the family. I admit it. 21 years old enough to drink, old enough to drive, old enough to fire an actual firearm, and also old enough to vote, but yet apparently not old enough to move out. But I will get to work on that one day. Also get to work on going to college at some point, get to work on maybe some more weight loss, I guess. I have been working hard on that, actually. Lost like 13, 14 pounds since the highest recorded body weight had ever been shown up on the doctor's record, and I was almost guaranteed to probably be dead in a few years. If not from, well, a heart attack or stroke, anything else really. But yeah, again, I'm sorry for kind of sidetracking myself here, but again, I've got a lot of evidence and a lot of points here to put up here if any one of you would ever want to hear about it. But yet, the question is, after all, asking me about why I'm not going to quit YouTube. Not now or ever, actually. But in conclusion, though, I'm just not quitting YouTube, mostly because of those things that I've already mentioned. But also, because if I ever want to make a living, then to have a job, and also to have a steady income every month, Kaiju Force Neo has actually been guaranteed to help me out through a lot of these times. As a matter of fact, across all parts of the business itself, all 5 of them, I am actually earning a somewhat stable income, but not quite enough. But you know what? I'll see what I can do to keep working on that. But in the meantime, if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.